Hello everyone, it's Xissy again. Sorry for being away for so long for the traditional Chinese medicine videos, but I'm back with some tips about weight management and healthier lifestyle and a different view on food and how it can affect your body. So, moving ahead, I hope this helps you live a healthier lifestyle, maybe change your view and relationship with food a little bit, and some practical tips like massage points for helping you reduce cravings and helping with moving bowels and all of that. So, to start off, in Chinese medicine, we look at what we call the spleen and stomach organs, which are not physically the spleen and stomach per se. It's more of an idea of their function and what they do. So that is in charge of digestion, and we say transformation and transportation because what you ingest has to be broken down, and then what the useful parts have to be assimilated into your blood and into nutrients that your body can absorb, and then what is not useful to you is passed out through the large intestine and the bowels. So that process, of course, needs you to have a strong spleen and stomach or digestive function. And sometimes we don't think about the nature of the foods that we're eating. So things that are cold, greasy, oily, and things that have a lot of spices too can be somewhat hard to digest, even if they do have good nutrients. Like we suggest eating a lot of vegetables, but if they're raw in their uncooked form, it's less digestible. So when you look at a nutritional label or think about what nutrients are offered in a raw form of the food, or just food in general, we don't sometimes think about how well our body is equipped to digest those nutrients and if that's actually what we're absorbing or if it's just putting more of a burden on our bodies. So if you think about a car that has a broken engine and you're just putting more gas in, it's still not going to run. So unfortunately that's the case for many elderly people or people who use meal replacements that are very rich in nutrients and quite dense, and sometimes rich and have sugar. Those things, even though on the label tells you it has everything you need for the day or for the meal, it may not actually translate to what your body is able to take from it and can put more of stress on your body. So that's something to consider when you're looking at foods. That especially if you're in a more immunocompromised state, like if you're getting over a cold or you know that you just have a weak digestion, you tend to feel very tired after eating, it might be beneficial to have things that are cooked and warm, and that way it's more easily digestible. One food that's very popular in China and people use as sort of a chicken noodle soup for when people are ill is congee, which is like a rice porridge. It's basically cooking down rice with more water than regular until it's broken down in like soup kind of texture. And even though nutritionally some people think like they don't want to eat starches or carbohydrates are bad, but it does help you build your qi. So in Chinese medicine we have this concept of vital energy or qi, and it's vital, so you need it to function and to live. And things like congee can help you build your qi because it's easily digestible and it supports your spleen and stomach function. Another interesting habit that we have in the West, which you can look at a little differently, is having cold and iced drinks, especially in the summer when it's hot. So what this can do, if you think of what an ice pack does when you have a bruise or when you're hurt, it tends to numb the area. And what you're doing essentially by drinking cold drinks or having iced beverages is you're numbing your insides too, because your stomach is a muscle. And then that can impede your ability to feel whether or not you are full, and subsequently perhaps you're eating more than is necessary. Which brings me to my next point, which is maybe you've heard before, but eating until you're 80% full, because it takes a while for the signals from your stomach to go to your brain to tell you that you are actually satiated and that you don't need any more food. And of course, if we're mindlessly eating, like you're watching TV or to some extent even talking to others, can distract you from enjoying your food and noticing what your actual sensations as you're eating. So chewing carefully and actually savoring what you're eating and making sure that you're not having rancid or bad foods, especially things with oils in them, to make sure that it hasn't gone off. That's very important as well, because again, it'll be hard for your system to digest if you're basically putting poison in, right? So that's another consideration, as well as maybe eating until a certain point in the evening and no longer after that cutoff point, so that you basically are intermittently fasting, meaning that you give your stomach a break from having to digest foods and work all the time, and that way that energy can be used to help your body regenerate and heal, which is why sleep is also so important. So while you're sleeping, that period is generally, it's a fast, which is why we call it breakfast in the morning, because you're breaking the fast. So if you were to stop eating at, say, 8 p.m. and you have breakfast at 8 a.m. or 9, then you've already done a 12-hour fast right there. And it can be beneficial not only on the scale when you look at your weight, but also for your own well-being and your energy levels too. Because more is not necessarily better for you, but it's also the quality, as I've previously discussed. So some things that you can do for helping you when you're having cravings, perhaps, especially maybe when it's hormonal or you're stressed, are some auricular or ear points that you can massage. So you can use like the blunt end of a pen or even your fingernail. My teacher gave me this tool that it's actually for picking walnuts, but it has kind of a pointier end. So if you use a toothpick, that'll work too. So I have a model of an ear here. So 3 points that I'll give you are, one that's commonly used is Shenmen. So this one here, it literally translates to spirit door. So spirit and mind in Chinese medicine are related. And so this helps to calm your mind, and if you're stressed, it can help you with relaxation or also addictions and things like that. So right there between the raised part, if you look at this as an upside down fetus, it's kind of between the legs. So this would be the head, that's the spine, and here are the legs, so right there. And then we also have a point called point 0, which is right over here. There's like a divot, it dips in, as most acupuncture points are. A little bit of an indent. And over here is the endocrine point, or for helping you regulate hormones. So you might also find this point as sensitive or sore, and you can massage that. I will do a more in-depth video about ear acupuncture or acupressure, so you can massage certain points to help alleviate pain and other issues that you might have. So yeah, stay tuned for that. And also, if you have constipation or you feel maybe your abdomen tends to be cold and your digestion is not that great, things aren't moving as smoothly or as quickly as they should, you can do a gentle massage. This is also safe on children and elderly, where you basically put pressure with your fingers here against your abdomen. So if this were my belly button right here, you would be doing clockwise circles around it. And you can just do that before you go to bed, like when you're lying down. This feels really nice and you have a warm belly and you're relaxed, and it helps you sleep as well. So in the morning when you wake up, it might be also beneficial to have a glass of room temperature or warm water, as you're dehydrated from the night, and it can also help wake your appetite a little bit. And also though, with fluids, try not to have too much before you eat or after, because that does dilute your stomach acid. And there are certain teas as well, like pu'er, P-U'-E-R, I believe is how it's spelled. Pu'er tea is beneficial for digestion, and see what works for you, because certain foods have different temperatures and natures as well. So even if you're having it like hot green tea by nature is cold and cooling. So if you're someone who tends to be cold in the first place, it may not be the best for you, versus someone who has a lot of heat. Maybe that might be a better option. And coffee tends to be more of a warm nature, so you can there's energetics and a whole theory behind different types of foods and what's more suitable for certain people. That is the last tidbit I will leave you with, is one person's medicine is another person's poison. And that goes with food as well. There's no such thing as a food that is good for everybody. Even ginseng can be poisonous to the wrong person. So just listen to your body and how it responds, and try to be open to trying new things and see what your body accepts and works well for you. And that is my final piece of advice for this video. I hope you enjoyed and found something useful. If you'd like to see similar content or have any suggestions in the future, please feel free to leave comments down below, and hope you like and subscribe. Appreciate your support. All the best and have a great week. Bye!